Hey guys, this is Mr. Benanti. For this week's science project for my summer school class, we're going to be making a air-powered or balloon-powered car, making from some stuff that we have at home. Obviously, if you're in my summer school class, then I've already given you the stuff that you need for it, but here are some of the things that you're going to need. A bottle, of course. A balloon. You could have used caps or anything round really for wheels. I decided to go with beads since I feel like a lot of people have these sitting at home, especially if you're a student. And then also we have straws, 2 dowel rods or skewers, and then duct tape. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take one of our straws. Again, if you are in my summer school class, you've got a kit for this. So we're going to take the straw and we're just going to cut it about in half, like so. And this, you'll notice, will be shorter than your dowel, and that's what we want. That's what we're aiming for. Next, make sure you keep the lid on your bottle. We're going to prep the bottle. This is a Propel bottle, so you'll see it has like a unique shape. So just take the top right here where it's taller, so about right here, you're going to carefully take scissors and you're going to make a cut right there. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my cut, it's split, and you can even take it and make it a little bit bigger if you want. You don't want it to be too big though. You're basically just fitting the 3 straws through it. So it just needs to be wide enough for that. I imagine that as I work on this, I'll have to cut it a little bit more later. But you can see right there, that's all I have. You can see my finger. That's about how big. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we'll need our duct tape. And on the opposite side of our soon-to-be car, we're going to put our cut straws here so that we can have this tube to support our dowels, which will actually serve as like an axle, like a car axle is what the wheels will be sitting on. So let's take some tape. My duct tape's white. You guys should have silver duct tape if you're in my class. They're the same, no difference. Take a little square like this. Again, make sure that you have it so it's pretty near the bottom. And to do that, I'm going to set my bottle upright. I'm going to take my tape, put it right in the middle or so. And I will fasten it to the taller part of the bottle. You don't want to put it too low or your wheels might sit too low. I'm going to move it up here. It's good to experiment with it a little bit, see what works better for you. Yeah, there we go. I like that more. So as I put them in, all I did was move this one up so that they're similar in height. That sits down nicely. Okay. Now the point of your dowels here, your dowel rod, is that you can put them through here so that you have something to spin in for your vehicle, for your car. So I just stuck them right through like that. Worked out pretty good. And if you're in my summer school class, you'll notice that I gave you 2 different types of beads. I gave you a smaller one and a bigger one, and that's for you to just experiment to see which one you like more. I'm going to use the bigger one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my wheels on like so, making sure I've got room on each side. And what I'm going to do is, in order to keep my wheel on, is I'm going to take a little bit of tape like this. I'm going to cut it or tear it so I have smaller sections like this, as you can see. And then I'm going to take it, even smaller still, and I'm going to wrap it on the very end of my car, or my axle, so that it will keep the bead on. We don't want it falling off the end. There we go. I'll just do the same thing on the other side. I'm sure your guys' cars will look much prettier than mine, but here I'm just trying to go for something practical. There we go. You can also, of course, use your scissors. we go. Take your tape, put it on the end of your dowel. Oh, it's already trying to go. There we go. Now, as you can see, we have these tape ends on here to keep the beads from sliding off one way or the other. And it sits on here, and it looks like it's going to roll. So it looks like we're in good shape so far. Next, what we're going to do is that we have this balloon and our, well, I'll call them exhaust straws, because that's what we're going to be using in order to power it. So as you can see, I haven't made any changes to my cut here so far. So I think that what I'm going to need to do, yep, looks like it. So I'm going to have to maybe make a little bit more room here so that I can fit all 3 straws in. Again, you don't want it to be too big because we want to try to preserve as much of the body of the car as we can. So here we go. I cut it just a little bit wider. Careful when you're doing this not to cut yourselves. That would not be fun. Plastic can be sharp. Okay. Now, before you do put anything with your balloon, make sure that you stretch it like this some to make it a little more malleable for your straw. And I'm actually going to go ahead and blow it up. And that's in order to make it so that it will work a little easier with the straws. Next, what we will do is we'll take each straw and we'll stick them in about an inch or so. You don't have to stick them in too far, but you want it to be able to hold on and make sure that they're even for when you get ready to stick them into your car. So I have them all parallel with one another and I have them pretty even. Next, we're going to take some more tape, a longer piece this time, because we don't want any of the air to escape from the straw. So I'm going to start it right here. See how I kind of split the difference here? I've got some on the balloon, some on the straw. I'll fold it over, make sure that's tight, but not too tight that you crush the straws. If you crush the straws, then the air will be able to escape. Again, we're going to be working on making sure that the straw integrity is good. Now, what we'll be working with here is kinetic and potential energy that we'll be creating. We're going to be the energy source because we're going to be using our breath to blow it up. Now, it's going to be a little harder, you'll notice, to blow up the balloon with the straws. And if it's too hard, that means you probably don't have it sealed off enough. I'm using quite a bit of tape to make sure I've got it nice and sealed, like so. And there we go. Now what we'll do is we're going to take them, well, now you can take your cap off. The whole point of leaving the cap on was so you could cut through the bottle easier when you made your hole here. Now I'm going to take my straws, I'm going to put them in here. Oh, perfect. And as you can see, I've got my balloon and the car. You don't want the straws to come out so far that it's dragging along the floor wherever you use it. Otherwise, that's going to defeat the purpose of the exhaust port here. So what you should be able to do is blow your car up, the balloon up, and it should be able to go. We'll go ahead and give it a test here. I'll show you that if you pinch the balloon off after you blow it, you can hold the air in. So now I'm holding the end there, okay? And we'll see how well this works. All right, guys, so you might see my assistant, who's my puppy, here in a minute. Yep, there she is. She has to, of course, be here to see what's going on. This is Cricket. So I've already blown up my balloon, so I've got my potential energy, which I'm going to use. Then we have our exhaust, and the air should make it hopefully propel forward. So let's see if it worked. And it did. Obviously, the more air we put in, the more energy we have to expel, and it will go further. But I think that our beautiful little car here worked great. So if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I hope that it goes really well for you. Thanks.